If you love stories like this, filled with soul and wisdom, kindly subscribe to my channel. I make many more videos just like this one. Thank you so much. Have you ever won an argument, but lost the person you love? Think about it. You were right, but something still feels wrong. So I ask you, is it worth it to be right if it costs you peace? Today, I want to tell you a story. A story that begins with a fight, but ends with a lesson you'll carry for life. A story about an old man named Samuel and his grandson Noah, two people who loved each other deeply, but nearly lost it all over something so small. Listen closely, because this may be the story that changes how you love forever. Samuel was a proud, old farmer. He lived in a small village in the hills of Vermont, a man of strong values, hard hands, and a stubborn heart. He had raised his grandson Noah ever since the boy was 4. After a tragic accident took his son and daughter-in-law. They were close, but also different. Samuel believed in tradition. Noah believed in logic. Samuel followed the heart. Noah followed the books. And so, they clashed, often. One morning, in early spring, they argued about planting mango trees. Yes, mango trees. Samuel said, "Dig deep. Let the roots find the old water veins. That's how it's done." Noah shook his head. He had read the agricultural manual. He pointed to the chart. "This says shallow planting allows faster oxygen intake." Samuel raised his voice. "You think the land cares about charts? I've worked this soil for 40 years. Noah clenched his jaw. "I'm just trying to do it right." "Then do it without me," Samuel shouted. He slammed the hoe on the ground and walked away. Noah didn't return for dinner that night, nor the next week. Samuel tried to stay angry, but as days passed, the anger turned into silence, and the silence into ache. Every afternoon, Samuel sat by the front porch, watching the dusty road where Noah used to walk home. He wouldn't admit it out loud, but he missed him so much. One rainy evening, Samuel went into Noah's old room. Everything was untouched. A book lay open on the table. It was the same agricultural guide Noah had argued from. And on the inside cover, there was a note, handwritten in ink, faint but clear. "Grandpa, you're probably right, but sometimes, I just need you to understand me, not to win." Samuel stood there, frozen. His hand trembled. His throat tightened. Tears welled up in his eyes. He whispered, "But I didn't want to lose you, Noah." The next morning, Samuel woke before dawn, put on his old boots, and walked 7 miles, through fog and wind, to Noah's school in the town. When Noah stepped outside, he froze in shock. His grandfather was standing there, soaked in rain, holding a thermos of warm tea. Samuel looked into his eyes and said only one thing, "Come home. I don't care who was right. I just care that we're still together." Noah broke down. He dropped his bag, ran to Samuel, and hugged him like he did when he was 4. They stood there, in silence, 2 hearts finally beating as one again. From that day on, Samuel asked more questions. Noah listened more with his heart. and they planted those mango trees together. Sometimes, being right is the loneliest place you can stand. Samuel was right, but his pride almost cost him his family. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha said, "Victory breeds hatred, the defeated live in pain, the peaceful live happily, having given up both victory and defeat." Dhammapada, verse 201. It's not about who's right. It's about what's left when ego wins and love walks away. How many times have we raised our voice just to prove a point? How many times have we shut someone out just to stay correct? But the Dharma teaches us real wisdom is soft, compassion is stronger than logic, and peace is always better than pride. You see, being right can win arguments, but being kind wins hearts. In the Samyutta Nikaya, the Buddha once asked a disciple, "What use is knowledge if it is not guided by loving kindness?" When we hold tightly to our views, our beliefs, our rightness, we forget something sacred. The other person is not the enemy. The real enemy is our own attachment to being superior. Samuel learned this when he read Noah's note. He realized his grandson didn't want a debate. He just wanted to feel heard. That's all many people want. Not to be corrected, not to be silenced, just to be seen. So what can we take from this story? Maybe this: when love and ego face each other, let love win. When silence can heal, let go of the last word. When you're sure you're right, ask yourself, will this bring peace or just more pain? Pause now and think about your own life. Who are you still trying to convince? Who have you hurt with your rightness? Who might still be waiting for you to simply say, "It doesn't matter who was right. I just want us back"? So I ask you this: is it more important to win, or to connect, to be clever, or to be kind, to carry pride, or to choose peace? Leave your answer in the comments, because someone out there might need your wisdom today. Do you remember a time you were right, but it left you feeling empty? Maybe it was your partner, your child, your parent, a friend, a stranger. You proved your point. You won, but deep down, you lost something greater. Let me ask you now, with all your heart, was it worth it? Maybe you were just trying to protect your truth, your pride, your pain, your history, but in doing so, you built a wall where a bridge could have been. Samuel walked 7 miles through the cold rain, not because he was wrong, but because he didn't want to be alone. He realized something many people never do. Peace is not what you get when you win, it's what you create when you choose to let go. So today, I ask you, who are you still arguing with? In your heart? Whose voice still echoes in your mind? What memory keeps repeating, "You were right, but we never spoke again"? If you could call them now, would you? If you could undo one conversation, would you? Would you take the chance to say, "I don't want to be right anymore. I just want peace between us"? I want you to do something right now. Think of one person, just one, someone you had a falling out with, someone you stopped talking to because of one fight, one disagreement, one moment of ego. Now ask yourself, if today was your last day on earth, would you still let that silence stay? Or would you reach out? Sometimes it's not too late. Sometimes all it takes is one message, one call, one quiet apology, one moment of courage. Not to fix the past, but to reclaim the love you both still carry. And if that person is no longer here, then close your eyes, say their name, and forgive. Release the weight, let go of the story, let go of the need to be right, and breathe again. You don't need a debate. You don't need a winner. You just need to choose peace. Now, if this story touched your heart, please leave a comment below. Right finger, tell us, who are you still holding a grudge against? And are you ready to let it go? Let your words inspire someone else. You never know who's reading, who's hurting, who needs that final push to forgive. And here's a real question. Be honest. Do you think always choosing peace means being weak? Or could it be the greatest strength you've never learned? If this made you feel something, don't keep it to yourself. Gift share this video with someone you miss, someone you've argued with, someone who used to matter, and maybe still does. Send it quietly. You don't even need to explain. Sometimes, the story will speak for you. And if you want more stories that awaken your heart and feed your soul, folded hands, please subscribe. I make many more just like this. Thank you for choosing this moment to listen and to love again. You were never meant to carry this alone. Now breathe and let go. I was right, but I lost someone I love. I still carry that pain. Peace is harder than being right, but I'm ready to try. This story reminded me of someone. I'll reach out today.